Welcome to Cronos Technical Review, your trusted source for daily CRO market analysis, charts, and technical insights. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video should be considered financial or investment advice. Cryptocurrency markets are highly volatile, and you should always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Any price analysis, predictions, or market insights shared in this video are based on personal opinions and publicly available data. I am not responsible for any financial losses you may incur based on the information provided. Invest responsibly and never invest more than you can afford to lose. The crypto market never sleeps, and today's story is one of those rare moments where a single announcement has the potential to shift the long-term trajectory of an entire ecosystem. And that ecosystem is Cronos, powered by the CRO token. What we're exploring today is not just another routine update or a piece of short-lived hype. It's a major development that touches regulatory pathways, institutional partnerships, investment products, and a deeper evolution of how CRO could eventually integrate with mainstream U.S. financial markets. So buckle up, settle in, and get ready for a comprehensive breakdown that explains not only what happened, but why it matters, what the deeper implications might be, and how this could transform long-term investor access to CRO and the broader Cronos ecosystem. Before we dive into the core details, a quick shout out to today's sponsor, NovaFox, which is currently offering a limited-time free airdrop. You can join through the link in the description, if you're early enough. Now let's get into the real story. After months of near silence from Crypto.com about the CRO token's future, the company has stepped back into the spotlight with a partnership that could reshape CRO's regulatory positioning in the United States. Crypto.com has officially partnered with 21Shares US, one of the largest issuers of crypto exchange-traded products globally, including ETPs and ETFs. They plan to launch regulated investment vehicles in the US that track CRO's performance. Specifically, they are preparing two major products, a CRO Private Trust and a CRO ETF, both of which will become available to investors once they secure SEC approval. This is extremely important because SU retail investors rely heavily on fully regulated products to legally access digital ETFs via brokerages, retirement accounts, and institutional platforms. But here's where the announcement becomes even more intriguing. Both companies repeatedly used a specific phrase, regulated access to the Cronos ecosystem. This wording is not referring only to the CRO token. In the world of crypto regulation, small phrases can carry huge meaning, and this one suggests that these investment products are being positioned as gateways to the entire Cronos ecosystem rather than just a speculative token. This perspective implies that the ETF and trust are designed to reflect the broader technological and economic environment surrounding Cronos. That environment includes DeFi protocols, decentralized applications, real-world asset integrations, stablecoins, Web3 gaming, and future institutional-grade applications. When ETF issuers highlight the value of an entire blockchain ecosystem, it typically signals long-term institutional confidence. This isn't the first time 21Shares has worked with CRO. They previously launched a CRO ETP on European exchanges such as Euronext Amsterdam and Paris. That product has performed impressively, gaining more than 18% since inception and even outperforming the S&P 500 over the same time frame. The track record exists, the infrastructure exists, and now that experience is coming to the world's largest and most heavily regulated financial market, the United States. Regulatory approval for a crypto ETF in the U.S. is incredibly difficult. It requires strict legal structuring, complete transparency, extensive auditing, and heavy compliance oversight. With 21Shares leading the charge, CRO now has a legitimate opportunity to enter institutional circles that were previously out of reach. And those institutional circles represent enormous capital. Alongside this, the announcement highlights the technical strengths of the Cronos chain itself. Cronos offers dual compatibility with both the Ethereum virtual machine and the Cosmos SDK, a powerful combination that gives developers cross-ecosystem flexibility. This interoperability significantly reduces friction when building scalable, cross-chain applications. Cronos has also implemented a 10x reduction in gas fees, making the network more efficient and sustainable. With benchmark throughput around 60,000 transactions per second, Cronos is positioning itself as a high-performance environment ideal for Web3 gaming, large-scale DeFi activity, and enterprise-level applications. These fundamentals matter because institutions don't just support tokens, they support ecosystems with real infrastructure. The story doesn't end there. 21Shares was recently acquired by FalconX, one of the largest institutional crypto prime brokerages worldwide. FalconX serves hedge funds, major trading firms, and professional investors. This acquisition means that institutional exposure to CRO could begin behind the scenes long before the ETF even launches. Adding even more fuel to the speculation, a former Crypto.com employee has recently joined FalconX. In the crypto world, personnel moves are rarely random. They often reveal long-term strategies or signal upcoming collaborations. So even though the market hasn't reacted dramatically, deeper strategic groundwork is clearly being laid. Speaking of the market, let's talk about price action. CRO did not pump on this news, and that's perfectly normal. The market has become desensitized to ETF announcements because 2024 and 2025 have been full of filings for Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, Chainlink, and more. Markets react to approvals and inflows, not filings and headlines. CRO continues to form higher lows, protecting market structure and holding key support zones. However, the 11-20 cent resistance remains stubborn. Without a major catalyst, it's difficult for CRO to break that barrier. Bitcoin's consolidation is also limiting momentum across the board, and CRO remains tightly correlated to Bitcoin's macro movement. If Bitcoin breaks above 95K, CRO will likely follow. If Bitcoin rejects, CRO may retest lower support zones. But none of this short-term volatility changes the real significance of the announcement. This update is not about day-to-day price fluctuations. It's about long-term institutional positioning. If the CRO ETF and Private Trust receive approval, the impact could be enormous. For the first time, U.S. institutions, including pension funds, hedge funds, advisory firms, wealth managers, and family offices, will have a regulated, compliant pathway to allocate capital into CRO. CRO has never had access to this level of institutional infrastructure before. This places CRO in a very exclusive club of altcoins with ETF-style exposure: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and just a handful of others. Even small inflows can have massive long-term effects because institutional investment compounds slowly over years rather than pumping overnight like retail speculation. Zooming out, the bigger picture becomes even clearer. If institutions begin to explore Cronos through regulated ETFs, they may also start exploring its on-chain opportunities, such as staking, liquidity pools, real-yield protocols, and development incentives. This could trigger a chain reaction of on-chain growth across the entire Cronos ecosystem. Crypto.com has been preparing for this moment for more than 2 years. They've restructured operations, upgraded security, improved liquidity, optimized app performance, expanded internationally, and continuously strengthened the Cronos chain. These steps typically come before a major institutional push, and now we're seeing the pieces fall into place. Even though CRO's price hasn't reacted yet, the fundamentals are stronger than ever. Whether the ETF receives approval in months or over a longer time frame, the direction is unmistakable. CRO is transitioning from a retail-focused token into an asset institutions can evaluate seriously. This announcement signals maturity, strategy, and long-term vision. Now the only question is how the market and investors like you will respond. Let me know in the comments where you think Cronos is heading next. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell icon for daily Cronos updates and in-depth crypto analysis.